Poland Daily Business Edition. Tonight we are at Katowice European Economic Congress, and our pleasure is to speak to Lord Martin Callanan, United Kingdom's Minister of Exiting of the European Union. Sir, welcome.
Welcome. Hello.
Well, let us say the first. What are the British interests in Poland? How do you see the mutual trade exchange?
Well, we have a very close economic relationship with Poland. Something like 20 billion pounds every year is traded between the two countries. We have a similar political outlook. And of course, we are currently welcoming 1 million Polish citizens who are currently living and working in the UK. So we have a very close relationship, and we want that to continue.
Okay, and this will be continued after your department will do its job. That means Britain will exit the United Kingdom.
It's also worth saying we have a very close security partnership with Poland also, and we have several hundred British soldiers serving as part of a NATO contingent in northeast Poland, and we are very happy to continue to do that.
Yes, securing the eastern part is very important also for business. So how do you imagine the business after Britain will leave the United Europe?
Well, we hope we will continue to grow our cooperation because we want a close working relationship with the European Union. We are seeking to negotiate a deal that will provide that, and we want economic ties to continue to grow between UK and Poland. We see Poland as a very important export market, and Poland sees the UK as a very important export market.
We do see the United Kingdom as an important export market, and we are concerned about this losing this market after UK will leave European Union, simply because
there's no reason whatsoever why you should lose that market. After exit, the UK will be the EU's largest customer, and the EU will be the UK's largest customer. So we need to negotiate a deal that will enable trade and commerce to continue. The UK believes in free trade. We are an outgoing trading nation, and that will continue after we've left the European Union. Trade does not depend on the European Union.
But there are borders and regulations. The European Union is heavily regulated market, and probably that was one of the reasons why United Kingdom decided to leave.
Well, there are many reasons. That is probably one of them, the stifling regulations imposed by the EU. But we want a close relationship. We are seeking to negotiate an economic relationship that will reduce burdens on business. We want one that is tariff-free, that is quota-free, to enable business to continue in both directions. And we remain optimistic that we can achieve that. And we welcome the support of the Polish government in trying to do that.
Yes, Polish government is obviously one of the major supporters of the European Union, because we don't UK, because we don't want to lose these connections that have been established over the past 20 years. How does trade negotiations look with European Union from your perspective?
Well, we have negotiated a future economic partnership document with them at the moment, a political declaration. So we really need to get the deal passed in Parliament, so then we can go on to negotiate the final details in exhaustive detail of the future economic partnership. But we are very clear what the objective should be, that we want one that is quota-free, that is tariff-free, and that is frictionless as far as possible at the borders.
But there are preparations for setting up the tariffs. There is the European Union. France is preparing to tax the goods coming from the UK. Do you have any? What are the problems in these negotiations? When you talk to the people from Germany, France, Italy, do you find that it is such an easy discussion like with Poles, or there are some issues that...
I mean, it varies from country to country. Obviously, if we were just negotiating with individual governments, particularly the Polish government, I suspect it would be very easy. But of course, we have to negotiate with the European Commission, who have sometimes a different political outlook, and who are sometimes not so cooperative. But we want to negotiate a relationship with the EU as a whole, as I said, that will result in as little friction as possible at the borders, that will enable trade and commerce to continue. And the reason that we want to do that is because it's in both sides' interests. It is in nobody's interests to start constructing economic barriers. We want to free up trade and commerce across the world as well as across Europe, and we will be seeking to try and do that.
The most difficult for United Kingdom is to set the terms with Ireland right now regarding the departure from the European Union.
Well, we have a very close relationship with Ireland. We have a common travel area so that Irish people can travel freely into the United Kingdom, and British people can go into Ireland, because of course we have a lot of Irish citizens living in the United Kingdom. But the Northern Ireland border is of course a particular problem. It has a troubled history. We have an agreement called the Good Friday Agreement that we stand absolutely by. We don't want to impose a border in Ireland. We will not impose a border in Northern Ireland, and I believe that Ireland and the EU believes the same.
And but the Brussels that not necessarily agrees with that. I can find that they are using as a negotiations tool with UK.
I think that's slightly unfair. People that I speak to in Brussels and in the Republic of Ireland also share our commitment to there being no hard border. You know, the peace process in Ireland was very hard won. We are totally committed to that. We don't want to see a return to violence in the past, and the border can be a flashpoint for that. So we need to make sure that there is no hard border in Ireland. We are 100% committed to that.
So in that violent world that we have right now, the UK wants to make its departure from European Union as smooth as possible.
Of course.
Lord Martin Callanan, Department of the Executive European Union. Sir, thank you very much. And that was it for Poland Daily Business.